Well, you didn't want it before, but now that I emptied it, you want it? So let me get the shop vac. So today I'm planning on doing the oil change, and so I got up under the truck, and the first thing I found was that the oil drain plug was not tight. Now, the last oil change I did, which was when I was here back in the spring, I did an oil change and I put a new drain plug gasket on, and this was it was a plastic gasket, and you know, obviously tightened it down, and so I just got up under there. I was just verifying that the wrench size I had was right, so I reached in with the wrench and put it onto the drain plug and didn't even have to apply any force, and it spun. So, and I did notice when I was up under the truck yesterday looking at it that I had some oil drips on the drain plug, which I had been checking it because I put that new gasket on it, and then we hit the road back in the spring. I had been looking up under the truck and it was bone dry. There was no signs of seepage or dripping. And so okay, the gasket was working. So at some point it had, I'm guessing that plastic got hot. I mean, it was designed for a drain plug, so I'm surprised that it deteriorated, but it definitely over time let the drain plug loosen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to source a new drain plug and gasket, which means I can't do the oil change today because I don't have the new drain plug. Shit. Delays. I am going to pull the doghouse out because the engine on this truck has always been really dry. When I was up under it working on it back in the spring, you know, I used brake clean and we cleaned off all the road grime, and it was not dirty and greasy. You know, the drain plug had been seeping back then, so that caused some oil in the bottom of the pan and backwards, and I cleaned all that off, and now I'm seeing down the side of the oil pan, I'm seeing some residue, you know, from oil from up above, which I don't remember that being there before. Like, the oil pan was always clean and dry. So I'm going to take the doghouse out and we're going to look up in there and see if something is leaking back there. Well, what is it, buddy? Okay. My fault. I didn't mean to get you jacked up. Well, we definitely had some mice living on top of the engine, right in the valley pan here, and I'm going to shine the light. Hopefully you can see it. See that? So it looks like they chewed some of my insulation here. There's a spot missing, and I can see the fibers from that down in there for sure. So this is disgusting. This was not like this when we left New York, because I was all up over this engine. So we're going to get a vacuum and get the shop vac out here and get that tidied up. I sincerely do believe that there are no mice in there now, because I think we killed them all. See it down in there. Oh, that just freaks me out. These little fucks. Sorry to cuss, but okay, buddy. I know. Getting all jacked up. Sorry. Well, you didn't want it before, but now that I emptied it, you want it? So let me get the shop back and we're gonna get this cleaned out. Well, everything's cleaned out. There's no more mouse remnants up in there. At least I can get in there easily. So that's all cleaned out. What is that? Who knows what that is? That's in that black box right there. It is... it's plumbed into the turbo air intake, I believe it is. Yeah, it's plumbed in. So here's this rubber, that's the air intake for the turbo. And off the side of it is this black box. And I am curious as heck to know what's inside there. So this truck, unlike other turbo Powerstroke pickup trucks, does not have an intercooler. Is that some kind of intercooler? Is that what's in that box? I can't imagine that it is. I don't see, you know, it's not plumbed in any other way. What is that? Is it another filter of some kind? And if so, how do you service it? So who can tell me what's in that box right there? That black box. Because I'm a dumpski when it comes to these turbo engines. Boy, I would really like to know. Treatment in for stiction correction. I'm gonna try this stuff. I did that hot shots before and I didn't really notice a change. So this is supposed to help with starting and overall power performance. So we're going to give it a shot. This is a one-time thing because this stuff is pricey. model 1995 Motorcraft. So I wanted to take a little bit of time and just give everybody a quick update on what we're doing. Obviously we're in New York, so the video that I shared with you guys when we were in Colorado and I was sick and they had that snowstorm come through, that really kind of knocked the wind out of me. I was really not feeling good at all, and it kind of been building up to that point where I was feeling like I needed to make some changes to the setup in the truck, specifically about food. I've really struggled with feeding myself. I've talked about this before, and so as I was out there in Colorado, still having a hard time getting food into me that was good and that I wanted to eat, and getting weight on and keeping myself healthy. I don't think the high altitude helped any either, but I was feeling pretty funky out there. And then I got sick in that snowstorm, and so I said, you know what, I'm gonna get serious about making some changes to the truck. So I contacted my folks, and of course they said, yeah, come on back here, whatever you got to do. So Lefty and I drove back across. It was about the 1,600-mile trip. You saw the video. Back to New York to make changes to the truck so that I can prepare food easier. My priorities when I built this truck, TV, movies, internet, stereo, all of that stuff was really important to me. And the food preparation and water was not on my priority list. I was under a time frame when I built the truck, and I always said, okay, I can circle back around and make these changes, which is what we're doing now. So we've been back here about 2.5 weeks, and in that time I've had a whole page list of things to do, and I've crossed off all but just a few of them at this point. We got a lot of stuff done. We've got a water system on board. I've got a new oven. I've got an air fryer. All of these things adding up to me being able to prepare food better. We've added a second refrigerator freezer. So I now have a freezer and a refrigerator, 2 units. It really opens up a whole another arena of food and things that I can eat. So we're kind of winding down here in New York and planning to get out of here pretty soon. I've also made some fixes. I did a fix to the truck mechanically. It's going to really improve drivability. I'm just teasing it right now, but it's something that had been broken on the truck since I bought it, and I got serious about it, and it's fixed now. So I'm going to put a video up about that, because it's something that I know a lot of you also have broken on your truck. I know this because as I was out driving around, anybody that had a Ford van, I would ask them about this feature, and it was about a 50-50 mix. 50% it worked, and 50% it was broken. So I'm going to show everybody how you can quite possibly fix this issue for pennies. Worst case, $25 or $30. Okay? That's coming up. So just wanted to really update everybody quickly. I'm just out here doing an oil change on the truck. Put some RevX into the oil. to control stiction. Gonna run that through the engine. It's supposed to be really good stuff for improving starting. And I do believe, I think I'm gonna go to the T6 synthetic after this oil runs through the engine, because I'm just reading all kinds of great things about how these engines respond to the T6. That they start tremendously faster and the oil lasts longer, so that's financial. You know, I'm changing the oil every 5,000 miles. It's not super expensive to do, you know, I do it myself, but 5,000 miles comes a lot quicker than I thought. What is this, like I've done some oil changes early. When I first got the truck, I pumped a few oil changes through it with, I changed the oil immediately, then changed it again after 300 miles, and then changed it again after 1,500 miles, because I felt like that the oil hadn't been changed in a while, and I was getting that injection control pressure code all the time when I first got the truck. So that really all but made that code disappear. So I had it pop on twice coming across the country just now. I was surprised. They were definitely long pull hills, and I really had my foot in it. And so 2 times it came on when we went across the country. On the way out from New York back in the spring, it didn't come on at all. So that was on a truly fresh oil change when we drove out from New York, and just now coming back, we had already put about 2,200 miles on that oil. So, and it was an 1,800, so we went up to about 4,000 miles on that oil. So definitely this engine is sensitive to the oil quality, definitely. So I think the T6 might be the solution to that, and we're going to give that a shot. So I'm just letting this funnel drain out, and then we're going to start the engine up and run this new oil through it. So hopefully I can time it just right so that when we get out there, the weather is comfortable enough that we're not too hot and not too cold. So I will talk to everybody very soon. Watch for a bunch of upcoming videos on all the things that we did to the truck. And when I say we, Lefty and I, because he helps. Let's see what he's doing right now while I'm working on the truck. Always in my chair too, even though he's got that big fluffy pillow over there on his side. We'll see everybody really soon. Everybody take care, and thanks again for watching.